I was in Barry's Bootcamp. It's a boutique studio. I was taking the class and I always grabbing the wrong size dumbbells, so too heavy, typical guy, you know.
Yeah.
And it gets smoked out right away. So you have to do the walk of shame back to the dumbbell rack, grab a smaller set of dumbbells, and then you bring it back to your station. And then they switch the exercise, so you're on a new exercise. So that was kind of my light bulb moment right then.
In 2016, one rung dumbbell sparked an idea that would reshape gym floors across the country. This is the story of FitBench and how it went from being knocked off in China to being built leaner, smarter, and stronger right here in the US. This is Manufacturing Runs the World.
It was 2016. I was in Barry's Bootcamp. It's a boutique studio, and taking the classes, you know, I'd travel all over the place, but in this one particular class, I was in Texas, and I was taking the class and I always grabbing the wrong size dumbbells, so too heavy, typical guy, you know.
Yeah.
And it gets smoked out right away. So you have to do the walk of shame back to the dumbbell rack, grab a smaller set of dumbbells, and then you bring it back to your station. And then they switch the exercise, so you're on a new exercise. So that was kind of my light bulb moment right then, is like, all right, how do I create a station or a bench that has everything underneath it, all under one roof? Right. That was kind of my light bulb moment. And then we workshopped it for a while. I went over to China with a friend of mine. He kind of showed me the ropes over there, and we manufactured in China for quite some time. Our first factory, we found out they were sending stuff out the back door with a different name on it.
Oh.
So it was our product with a different name on it, unfortunately. So we kind of we got knocked off right away, unfortunately. Yeah. So we moved factories to a really trustworthy factory we still use for some other stuff today, but it was pretty much on the backside of COVID is when we decided, all right, I can't go over to China just because, you know, we couldn't fly there at the moment or at that time. The quality I had no control over, and I want to make a couple changes to the product design. So that's when we decided to pull the trigger and start manufacturing over here.
Nice. So are you manufacturing all in your headquarters, or everything is manufactured there?
Yeah, everything except the dumbbells and kettlebells. So that's a whole different process. That the emissions on dumbbells and kettlebells is actually really bad. So that's why you don't see a lot of those manufacturing or any of those manufacturing in the U.S.
Okay,
It's done in China. So it's all in one place called Nantong, where all the dumbbells are made.
Wow. One place in the world dumbbells.
Yeah, crazy. And it's like, the air quality is terrible. You're like wafting through it. People are smoking cigarettes and pouring dumbbells. It's pretty wild. So crazy. Yeah.
I've been talking to tons of people in manufacturing now that are doing like 3D printing of metal, ball run prototype stuff. You know, I noticed on your site you have like 4 or 5 different designs. Are you constantly playing with that design? And manufacturing here, how are you able to do that?
Yeah, quickly, which is nice. We can change things on the fly now. So we made our product. We had to redesign it completely in order to make it here and make the dollars make sense. Basically, what we did is we removed all the welds out of the product. It used to be welded and there was tubing and everything. So we removed all the welds, which actually removed about 30% of the weight out of the product. Wow. Quite a bit of weight out of it, and made it a modular design. It's called a uniframe design. So cars are actually built the same way. So we made a modular design, which allows us to not only customize it really easily in terms of color and things like that, but also if we have any changes to the design, we can change it quickly. We have a laser in-house here, a big fiber laser. It's the size of a school bus, and press brakes and all that. So we can change it. Oh yeah.
Like robot welding and the laser cutting and the press brakes and
there's a lot of cool machinery out there. There really is, and I love going on all these like factory tours actually, just to see how people are doing things, even if it's not even in our industry. I like just seeing and learning about how things are manufactured. Really, it's really fascinating to me.
Well, for sure, it's just like the old Legos, right? You're playing with stuff, putting stuff together. You get to see how it's made. All the manufacturing is done in-house in the US, so you're not going to have to worry about tariffs. I know a lot of manufacturers are worried about that.
Yeah, which is a wild time with tariffs. You know, we just got that increase. It's an additional 10% and then an additional 25% on steel. Wow. Yeah, it's a lot. You know, and that's kind of a changing. It could, you know, changing. We'll see where it lands. Yeah, so lucky for us, we make all the heavy, like all the material and everything's here. We buy all our steel locally and everything, and yeah, so we don't have to deal with the tariffs. However, our dumbbells still are from over there. So, coming out of COVID, so our industry was killed.
Yeah.
Fitness industry was just destroyed. Clubs took a long time to come back and get confidence again and build up their books again to where they can make capital purchases of equipment and things like that. So the last couple of years have been pretty flat for us, quite honestly. But lucky enough, we were able to score or win a massive contract with Planet Fitness. I'm sure you're familiar with Planet Fitness.
For sure.
So we got a contract with Planet Fitness to basically double our business. But this year has been crazy busy so far.
Are you gonna have a problem keeping up with manufacturing?
Yeah, I mean, that was so we learned about this at the end of last year, and we've been working on this with them for years. But we learned that we were gonna get this thing, and it was gonna happen in 2025 or start happening in 2025. And we hired consultants. We hired, scaled up our team because one thing that crushes companies is massive, quick growth. So we obviously didn't want that. So we brought in all the right people and we had the strategy around building this thing up the appropriate way, so we could scale with that customer of the business.
You guys need to be in Orange Theory.
No, yeah, we're talking with them. It's just, again, kind of like Planet. It's a long road. So you have to start getting them in there and everything. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I did a first time workout. My wife goes there religiously. I thought of you right away. I think I reached out shortly after that because I had to use their dinky little bench, and then they had the weights that weren't heavy enough for me, and I had to do the same thing. I had to take a walk. Anytime I wanted to lift heavy weight, I had to go over there, and I was like, well, this is silly.
Yeah, that's it. So it'll be perfect for us.
Yeah. I'll put in a good word. I
Yeah.
I don't know how to go over there. If somehow they listen to the podcast,
Yeah, there you go.
I'll tag them in all the social posts.
There you go. Perfect.
So I think that's even more amazing. You have 10 people there doing all the manufacturing, and that's including the warehouse and everything too.
We do lean manufacturing, trying to stay as efficient as possible.
Yeah, cool. And then residential wise, it looks like you do have one product out that was that recently released?
Yeah, so all of our benches are made commercially. So they're all commercial grade. We made a bench called the FitBench Free. It's a plastic unit. That's the only one we don't make in-house. We make that up in Manitowoc. But it's a plastic unit. We made it to meet that lower price point, but we over-engineered it to make it commercial grade and kind of missed the mark for consumers. But that is our least expensive product. It's $2,500. So the most expensive is $3,500. But yeah, it's a great unit.
The new product that's only 3,500.
Yeah, correct. So they range from 2,500 to 3,500. All of our metal benches. So the FitBench 1 would be 3,500. And the FitBench Free, which is a plastic unit, is 25.
Wow, that sounds actually very reasonable considering a Peloton is like.
Yeah, exactly. If you compare it to a Peloton,
has way more stuff than a Peloton has.
Yeah, correct. You can do a ton with it. Obviously, strength is everyone wants strength right now. So we work out videos and everything for that consumer. We just don't focus on the consumer in terms of selling to them, but it's a perfect product for.
Yeah. How do I pick one of those up?
I'll help you out, man.
Cool.